Hi guys, you're welcome back to the channel. It's Pepe Styling here. So today we're going to be making this Bubu with a fitted waist. Okay, so let's get right into it. So today we're going to be making it with this fabric. This is the Duchess fabric. Okay, so I have about 3 yards of fabric here. Okay, so first I'll be folding my fabric into 2, and I'm going to fold it again because I want to be cutting the front and the back together. So I'm going to be leaving about 1.5 around that side. Okay, so this is it. I've gone ahead to fold it in place. I folded it into 4 and I gave about 1.5 around this area. So this will be 7 for the opening in front. Okay, so now to determine how much fabric to put on fold, you're going to be taking your shoulder measurements, okay, and then you add the length of the sleeve, how long you want the sleeve, where you want your sleeve to stop. Okay, that will help you to determine the amount of fabric to put on fold. Okay, please take note that the measurement is starting from the folded part. Okay, so here I've already gone ahead to measure my shoulder divided into 2. That's 16 divided into 2, that's 8. Okay, so now for this dress you don't need shoulder slope. Why? Because the fabric I'm working with is very lightweight, so it's definitely going to fall along the shoulder. But if you're working with a thicker fabric, please, you have to add your shoulder slope. Okay, but for this tutorial I won't be adding any shoulder slope. So here I've gone ahead to measure my neck width, 3 inches, and the neck depth for the back. Okay, for the back I'm using 1.5, and for the front I'm using 3 inches for my neck depth. So here I've gone ahead to mark just the back, okay, because I'm going to be cutting the neckline separately. Okay, so from the shoulder line I'm going to measure 11 inches. Okay, this 11 inches is going to be our sleeve opening, and from that same shoulder line I'm going to mark out my hip line as 26 inches. Okay, and then the full length of this dress. Okay, so here I'm marking the same 11 inches. That's how wide I want the sleeve opening to be. It's actually going to be 10 inches wide, half inch to join on the shoulder, and then another half inch to close it at the sides. Okay, so I'm going to connect this line like this. To the hip line, I'm going to be measuring my hip circumference divided by 4, and then I'm going to add extra 3 inches. Okay, remember this is a Bubu, so it has to be free. I'm adding extra 3 inches. Okay, 2 inches for ease, and then 1 inch for closing it up. Okay, please take note where our measurement is starting from. So whatever we have here, we're going to be measuring it all the way to the full length of this dress. Okay, and then we'll connect it with a straight line. Okay, so coming over to this sleeve opening, I'm going to be coming inwards by 1 inch. Okay, so 1 inch is for folding that part. Okay, and then from this hip line I will go downwards by, say, 10 inches. Okay, I'm coming downwards by 10 inches, and I'm going to connect from this point all the way to that 10 inches mark I made there, just the way you see me doing it here. Okay, and just blending into the other line. The next is to cut out. Okay, so now I'm going to be taking out the back part. Remember, we're cutting the front and the back together, so I'm going to take this back out. Okay, and then I'm going to remeasure my front. I decided to extend my neck depth to 4 inches for the front, and then I'm just going to cut it out. Okay, so here I'm marking out. Remember we gave 1.5 seam allowance in the front for the opening. So from this neckline I came down by 5 inches, okay, for that opening in front. Okay, so it's totally optional. You can decide to make yours deeper or less. Okay, so here I'm marking out that seam allowance that we gave. So from the shoulder I'm going to be measuring where I want my slits to start. Okay, I'm going to mark it out. Okay, so from that slip opening I'm going to go and stitch it all the way to where the slit is going to start from. Okay, so here I've gone ahead to stitch it down. Okay, and I'm going to place this hemming gum underneath and iron it all the way to the down. So here I've gone ahead to iron everything down. As you can see how flat it's looking, and that is our front opening, the slit. Okay, so for the neck you can either pipe it, okay, like you can fold it, or you can use a facing or bias tape, but me I will be folding it in just like this. Okay, and I will do the same for the front as well. Then I'm going to join the front and the back on the shoulder line, okay, with 1/2 inch. Okay, so here I've gone ahead to do that. Okay, and I've also gone ahead to pipe the neck. Okay, next is to go and fold this part. This is our sleeve opening. Okay, so I'm going to go and fold it inwards just like so. So here I've gone ahead to close it down, okay, on both sides. So the next thing now is to achieve that waist tightening in front. Okay, so I'm going to open the dress just like so, and I'll measure from my shoulder line to my waistline. Okay, measure from your shoulder to your waistline and then mark it down, and also measure the other side as well. Okay, so using this midpoint as a guide, you're going to be measuring your waistline divided by 4. Okay, my waist circumference divided by 4 is 8 inches. Okay, so that 8 inches I'm going to be subtracting 2 inches from it. Why is to make it to snatch this place very well, to make that place to be very tight. Okay, so what I did is my waist circumference divided by 4 is 8, and I subtracted 2 inches, so making it 6 inches. Okay, so I've marked that 6 inches on both sides. Okay, so here I've gone ahead to make, okay, this belt. It measures 2 inches wide. Okay, I folded it and turned it. So now I'm going to attach it on both sides where I made those marks. Okay, I'm just going to go and stitch it down, but first I'm going to be holding it with a pin. Okay, so I'm going to go and stitch it down. Okay, so here I've gone ahead to stitch it down. Okay, and next thing is to close up, okay, using 1 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to hold the front and the back just like so, and I'm going to go and stitch it down. Okay, so here I've gone ahead to close it down, and I've also weaved everything neatly. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the front. Okay, yeah, and this is the final look. You can rock it free like so, and also fitted on the waistline. Okay, all you have to do is just to tie that belt inside. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. See you guys in my next video. Bye.